Okay.
Alright. So we decided that we're gonna tell ghost stories from our past and from people we heard it, paranormal stories. So I don't actually have a lot of paranormal experiences myself, but I know a lot of stories that my grandfather has told me, and that includes things like lightning bolts zigzagging between trees. That's the kind of things, and that sounds very creepy. And an old black woman who was buried in a certain farm, on a certain farm, and she was married to a white guy, and this guy was rich, he was very wealthy, and he actually had a lot of gold and jewelry with him. And so he buried her when she died of certain disease or something. When she died, he buried her with jewelry, diamonds and gold. Now, today, if you go over there to look for these treasures, and if you want to hunt these treasures, these entities will actually chase you. There's some heavy pressure feeling when you go there, and it feels like something is chasing you, and you just start running like crazy. Do you have anything?
Yeah, just if a ghost follow me, and
Like
when I was little, I was sleeping, my mother also sleeping, everyone was sleeping, and this is it happened in real life. And when my mother heard something, she went out, and two ghosts were scaring me outside to walk away with me.
Scaring you?
Yes. She see nobody. She just see me floating in the
Just
sky.
you floating in the air?
Yes.
Wow.
And the next night I sleep by her, everybody. I didn't know where my dad was. And then a ghost was on my side. I just get cold.
Did you feel the chills?
Yes.
The cold breeze of the
Yes.
entities?
And I feel it touching me and was just at me all the time. So
You know,
it's very scary.
I was a witness to a very weird scene. Actually, I did not see it for myself, but I was there to witness people see it. Okay, but you can make your own conclusion here. But it was my aunt. They were all a bit tipsy, because they've been on the bottle that weekend around the campfire. And it's our house over here, and then there's her house next to us, and there's a couple of trees between us, but you could actually see through all those trees. Now, she suddenly looked surprised, and we saw her staring at her home, and we asked her, "What's wrong?" And she says, "Look, they're carrying my uncle out of the room." And we said, "What?" They say, "My uncle is floating in a sleeping position out of the door, from the kitchen door. And all the trash cans in front of the house was levitating." Now, I actually stared at the same place where she was staring at, where she saw all these things happening, but I did not see it. Is that a little bit too much, of the good stuff? Or did she see something that really happened, but I did not see it? What do you think?
I think it's very scary, and I also seen one night in this house where we're staying now. I wake 12 o'clock in the night, I wake up, everybody was sleeping, and where my room is was my brother's room. And I don't know what happened, but I go there in his room to get something. And when I look back to the door, there's a girl with blonde hair.
Wow.
Was standing in his door. staring at me.
She actually, and many by her family members, it is believed that she can actually see entities that the average person cannot see, because I cannot see them myself. But she seems to have a lot of these encounters. And I can actually tell you about something I actually experienced myself. When I was about 9 years old, I was sleeping, and I woke up with cricket noises in my head, as loud as you can think is loud. It was cricket noises, chirping, like it sounds like they're all around you, and it's loud. And then I opened my eyes, and I was afraid, and I had a smell, a taste and a smell in my mouth of it's a smell. But I explained this smell to my mother, and she actually said that it was the smell of a graveyard. Now that was the first time it happened to me, but it was also the last time. And I also learned something from my grandfather. He taught me how to detect when there is a presence. You actually can feel it. When you are walking outside, actually, preferably at night, if you are walking and you can sense at what direction and how close you are to this entity. It's a kind of like you get goosebumps, and you feel that flight or flight feeling, that you feel afraid, that there's something there. You have to be concentrated, and we actually tested it. When me and my grandfather was testing my ability to feel these entities, I was walking with him outside in the night, and I told him, "Grandpa, I think I feel something here, and it's quite a fishy feeling, there's really something here." And he said, "You are right, because I get the same feeling at the same place." That's pretty scary, and these things are real, But even though all these things, I still get skeptical, and I still find it hard to believe that there is ghosts all around us.
Yes, and it's very scary if you feel them and you're walking with them.
There is people who experience the trouble, having these abilities to feel ghost entities and things, and this can be actually traumatizing for people. Other people see it as a gift, but I just don't see it as anything at all. I mean, I know about a lot of stories, and in the future I can tell you people about all these encounters and stories that I've heard from other people, especially on my grandfather's side, because he has a pretty big book to write about ghost activity. But there is a few of ours. We have 2 minutes left. Do you have something to tell us? Anything else? Nothing?
No.
It's quite a surprise. Because I can tell you a story about my mother. When she was a girl, an old man, the voice of an old man would come in her sleep and wake her up. And then, when she would wake up, she would actually see this old man standing there beside her bed and telling her that he wants to go and show her something. And she said, "Uncle, why do you want to go and show me?" And then, every time you ask a question, he would actually be enraged. There would be a wind inside the house, doors would slam, and it would be like loud noises. And she told my grandfather about this, and my grandfather told my mother, when the uncle comes and asks you, he wants to show you something, just go with him. And then she said she's afraid. She wants father to come with her, and says, "No, just go, because go and see if there is something what he wants to show you." And in her sleep, this ghost entity took her to a little spot of ground with a little fence in front of an old pharmacy. And when she said, "I'm afraid, I want my daddy to come with us," that's when he really threw a spiritual fit, a ghostly fit, and he blasted through the hallways with doors slamming, portraits falling off the walls, and a loud noise saying, "Whoa!" He screamed it like inside, it sounds like you are yelling inside of a can. That kind of thing. Very loud.
And cats can also show you.
Cats can also see ghosts, and we've also... Dogs can see it. We've had a couple of experiences with that quite recently. And we will tell you about that sometime, and I don't know when.
Yes.
And that looks like that's gonna be it. I'm making my video times shorter because it's taking quite a while to upload, so this is gonna be about 10 or 11 minutes. And I guess that was it, guys. Interesting one.
Yes, it was.
There we go. Thanks for listening to our paranormal stories.
Yes, it was good.
And
good to tell you.
one day there's gonna be more of them. So hang around.